So, what if I told you that one of the most powerful guides to self awareness, to peak performance, was actually written by a 16th century nun? That's exactly what we're diving into today with The Interior Castle. It's this surprisingly modern map for navigating your own inner world to find focus, peace, and purpose, even when everything around you is total chaos. Our guide here, Teresa of Avila, she kicks things off with this absolutely incredible vision. She asks us to picture our soul, our mind, not as some messy, chaotic space, but as this magnificent castle made of pure crystal. Think of it like a memory palace for your soul, a structured framework with all these different rooms just waiting for you to explore. And this isn't just nice poetry, it's a really powerful tool for getting a handle on your inner self. Okay, so here's the core concept. The interior castle is an allegory, right? It's a step-by-step guide through 7 mansions, which are really just stages of personal growth. You can think of it as a kind of leadership journey, one that takes you from the noisy, distracting outer courtyard all the way to the quiet, powerful command center at your very core. Now, you have to remember, Teresa wrote this thing back in 1577, and she wasn't some academic writing from an ivory tower. No way. She was a reformer, a leader, and she was under a ton of pressure. This book came directly from her own deep, personal experience. It was designed to be a practical manual for anyone who's looking for a deeper connection with themselves. So, how do you get inside this castle? Well, the main gate isn't locked. You don't need some complex spiritual key. Teresa says the door is simply prayer or meditation, just the simple act of turning your attention inward. It's really about pausing all the external noise for a minute and starting to listen to what's actually going on inside. So we found the front door. We're in, and we find ourselves in the first section of the castle, the outer courtyards. Now, these first few stages, they're all about the work that we have to do. This is the part where you have to roll up your sleeves. It's all about conscious effort, discipline, and building the right habits from the ground up. All right, so these first 3 mansions are basically about clearing out the mental clutter. In Mansion 1, you just start to notice your distractions. In Mansion 2, you commit to the really hard work of sticking with it, even when it's tough. And by the time you get to Mansion 3, you've started to build a life with some discipline and order. Now this is where it gets super relatable. Teresa calls the obstacles in Mansion 1 venomous creatures. What does that mean for us today? Well, it's that obsession with hitting quarterly numbers, right? It's constantly worrying about your reputation or your social media profile. It's a calendar packed with busy work instead of real work. And it's that nagging fear of failure that stops you from taking any real risks. Sound familiar? By the second mansion, you're aware of the problem. You can hear all that internal noise. You see the venomous creatures crawling around. But man, breaking those deep-seated habits is hard. This whole stage is just about grit. The daily practice, it's just showing up. Even 5 minutes of quiet time when it feels totally useless. That's the work. Okay, so you make it to the third mansion, and things are looking pretty good. You've got some order in your life, you're feeling disciplined, but right here, a really subtle trap emerges: complacency. It's that danger of thinking, okay, I've arrived, the work is done. For any high achiever, this is the curse of competence, where just being good enough becomes the enemy of being truly great. And this brings us to a huge turning point in the journey. You've used discipline, you've used willpower, you've grinded to get this far. But what happens when sheer effort just isn't enough anymore? How do you break through to the next level when trying harder is no longer the answer? This is where we cross a threshold into the middle mansions. And here, the whole dynamic shifts. The journey stops being about what you can do, and it starts being about what you can allow. It's a massive change from active, hard-driving effort to a more receptive, open awareness. In the fourth mansion, Teresa talks about a new kind of experience she calls infused contemplation. Here's the key. This isn't something you achieve through more effort. It's a state of deep, quiet awareness that kind of just happens. It feels like a gift. It's that aha moment, that sudden insight you can't force, but you can definitely make space for. As we go deeper into the fifth mansion, the experience gets even more profound. Teresa calls this a spiritual betrothal. Think of it like a deep but still temporary alignment with your core purpose. It's a taste of what true integration feels like, that fleeting moment where everything just clicks. It's like an engagement, promising something more permanent is on the way. And this quote just captures that feeling perfectly. Once you've had that taste of profound clarity, you are 100% determined to get back there. But the journey isn't over yet. This stage is all about deepening that desire, making that commitment even stronger than any of your other ambitions. All right, take a deep breath because now we're entering the final and most intense part of the journey. We're in the inner chambers. This is where you get purified and prepared for that permanent state of union. This is where real, lasting character is forged. There's a reason the sixth mansion is the longest chapter in her book. It is by far the most challenging part of this whole process. Teresa is very clear about this. To get through this stage, you need immense courage. This is where you have to face the deep trials that are absolutely necessary for real transformation. And look at the kinds of trials she's talking about. You've got the exterior ones, things like getting sick, people misrepresenting you, public criticism. And then there are the internal trials, deep depression, periods of burnout or spiritual dryness she calls aridity, and just intense inner anguish. These are the fires that purify. But here's the crucial reframe, and this is so important. Teresa insists these trials are not punishments. They're more like training. They're designed to expand your capacity for resilience, for empathy, for clear-headedness under pressure. Ultimately, they're meant to forge you into a more effective and compassionate person. And at last, we arrive at the very center of the castle, the seventh mansion. This is what she calls the spiritual marriage. It's a state of stable, permanent union with that divine presence at your core. The inner conflict is finally over. And what's left is this profound, unshakable peace, a quiet, abiding reality. Teresa uses such beautiful imagery to describe this. And it's not just about two things existing side by side. No, the two lighted candles become one single flame. The falling raindrop completely merges with the river. It's a total, seamless integration of who you are with your deepest purpose. So, after all that, what are the tangible results? For a modern person, a modern leader, what do you actually get? Well, profound humility, and that's not weakness, that's a quiet confidence without the ego. You get unshakable peace, your anchor in any crisis, freedom from self-interest, which allows you to make truly objective decisions, and finally, a life that just naturally leads to purposeful, effective action. And this, right here, might be the most important takeaway of all. This whole inner journey isn't about escaping the world to go sit on a mountain somewhere. It's about fundamentally transforming how you operate within the world, making you more present, more effective, and more purposeful in absolutely everything you do. Teresa leaves us with this powerful prayer, almost like a mantra for resilience in our crazy, chaotic world. It's a reminder that even when everything is changing around us, there is a center that holds, a source of strength that's always there, if we just have the patience to look for it. So, this leaves us with a final question for you. You don't have to journey through all 7 mansions at once. The path always starts with a single step. So which room, which part of your inner world are you going to turn your attention to today?